The film opens with a scene depicting an individual disposing of a body. The unseen figure then subsequently buries the body. The narrative then transitions to a character named Jack, who is attempting to solicit a ride from passing vehicles. Notably, a French road sign indicates that hitchhikers should not be given rides, the reasons for which remain undisclosed at this point. As vehicles continue to pass by him without offering assistance, Jack finds himself alone and emotionally overwhelmed. After some time, an aggressive driver pulls up in front of him, revealing a couple engaged in a heated argument. Jack attempts to intervene, but the man reacts negatively. The man then leaves Jack alone with the woman. This situation compels them to forge a connection. As they converse, Jack discovers that the woman's name is Veronica and that she is a native French speaker. He shares that he is stranded after fleeing from his girlfriend due to infidelity. Veronica reveals that she recently lost her brother and feels her parents blame her for the tragedy. She also mentions that a serial killer is on the run in the area, which explains the reluctance of drivers to pick up Jack. As night falls, they decide to spend time in the woods. While sitting by a fire, Veronica shares that she has been practicing her autograph and presents Jack with a sample. The following morning, the two have grown closer and bathe together in a lake. After their swim, they resume their journey in hopes of finding a ride. Just as they begin to lose hope, a car suddenly stops in front of them. The driver, identified as Gizzard, offers them a lift, though Veronica appears hesitant at first. She ultimately accepts. During the ride, Gizzard extends an invitation to his home, expressing that his wife enjoys hosting visitors, particularly English speakers like Jack. Given Jack's need for food and refreshment, he agrees to the offer. Upon their arrival, Gizzard's wife, Mary, greets them but does not appear as enthusiastic as Gizzard had suggested. Later, Mary shows Jack to the bedroom where he will be staying. In an unexpected moment, she breaks down and embraces him. When Jack seeks clarification about her emotional response, she fails to provide a satisfactory explanation. After Veronica's departure, Jack, already fatigued, falls asleep on the bed. When he awakens, it is already nightfall. As he moves about the room, a box labeled Gizzard catches his attention. Upon investigation, he discovers family photographs that depict a son and daughter who appear to belong to the household. The family, under the assumption that Veronica and Jack are a couple, has provided them with the same room. While in their quarters, Veronica takes a shower and informs Jack that they should leave, expressing discomfort with the family's old-fashioned and unsettling demeanor. Unbeknownst to her, Gizzard listens intently to their conversation from a hidden vantage point. Later, Gizzard enters the room and invites them to dinner. During the meal, Jack notices the absence of any children in the house, despite having seen photographs suggesting otherwise. Furthermore, the hosts exhibit peculiar behavior characterized by seemingly endless arguments. After dinner, Jack approaches Gizzard to watch television with him. During this time, Gizzard informs Jack that he will need to stay for an additional 2 to 3 days, due to ongoing riots reported in the news that have disrupted all means of transportation. With no alternatives available, Jack reluctantly agrees. He then inquires about Gizzard's children, to which Gizzard denies having any, leaving Jack puzzled given the photographs he had previously seen. Eventually, Jack bids farewell to Gizzard and returns to his bedroom. While there, he shares an intimate moment with Veronica. Meanwhile, an unidentified figure is observed in the yard dragging a body out of the trunk of a car. The following morning, Jack awakens to find an empty space beside him. Veronica has mysteriously vanished. He searches the house for any trace of her but finds nothing. Shortly thereafter, Gizzard approaches him holding a hammer. Suspecting Gizzard's involvement in Veronica's disappearance, Jack asks about her whereabouts. However, Gizzard claims that she has left and adopts a different demeanor, insisting that Jack should also depart, despite having previously invited him to stay for another 2 to 3 days. Jack continues his search for Veronica but finds no leads. Gizzard then presents him with a note purportedly left by Veronica as a farewell message. However, Jack is skeptical of its authenticity. With no other options available, he returns to the road and begins to wander once again. Suddenly, an idea strikes him. He compares the handwriting on the note with that of an earlier sample Veronica had given him and discovers they do not match. Before he can contemplate this further, he is injected and loses consciousness. Upon regaining consciousness, Jack finds himself restrained and gagged. He is subsequently transported to a farmhouse situated far from the road. His captor is revealed to be an elderly man named Delacroix, a native French speaker who does not communicate in English. Delacroix offers Jack a bowl of hot soup. Delacroix then takes a photograph of Jack for reasons that remain unclear. Following this, Delacroix carries Jack back to a pickup truck, securing his mouth with duct tape. He prepares to administer a sedative. However, he is suddenly interrupted by smoke emanating from his kitchen. Abandoning Jack to investigate the source of the smoke, Delacroix leaves. Seizing the opportunity, Jack attempts to free himself by reaching for a nearby nail in the trunk. When Delacroix returns, he discovers that Jack has escaped. Realizing he cannot allow Jack to get away, Delacroix calls for his dog to assist in the search. At this point, Jack is already long gone. Ultimately, he returns back to Gizzard's residence as his only run to point. Outside, he notices the couple departing. He then takes advantage of the situation to enter their home. Inside, he encounters a locked room that appears to conceal something important. Driven by his desperation to find Veronica, he breaks into the room. Surely, he discovers her bound and helpless. Using a nearby knife, he cuts her free, and they share a brief reunion. However, the get-together is short-lived as Gizzard and Mary return home. This prompts them to devise an escape plan. Jack retrieves a gun from one of the rooms. Together with Veronica, they prepare to confront the couple as they enter the house. Upon opening the door, Mary quickly senses that something is amiss and rushes to find Veronica. However, Jack and Veronica manage to escape the house just in time. Through a window, Mary spots them fleeing. Jack and Veronica then jump into a nearby car with Jack at the wheel. Gizzard and Mary also manage to get into another vehicle in pursuit. During the chase, Gizzard catches up to them and inadvertently collides with their car in an attempt to force them off the road. The couple's motives for their aggressive actions remain unclear. Veronica attempts to fire at them, but their car loses balance and crashes. Fortunately, both Jack and Veronica manage to escape unharmed. Gizzard and Mary can only watch as they flee into the forest, choosing not to pursue them immediately. Jack and Veronica then make their way to Delacroix's residence in search of shelter. Shortly thereafter, Delacroix returns and senses something amiss in the area, calling out to anyone inside. Veronica attempts to confront him, but her efforts prove futile. As Delacroix moves to attack her, he stumbles and falls onto a sharp metal object. Unfulfilled by the outcome, Veronica brutally finishes him off. She then covers the weakened Jack. At this moment, Gizzard and Mary arrive at the cabin. After entering, they confront Veronica. In a surprising turn, Veronica refers to Gizzard as Dad, and Gizzard perceives Veronica as his daughter. This revelation indicates that Veronica has been deceiving Jack throughout their interactions. Gizzard and Mary are indeed her parents, and Veronica is the serial killer she had previously mentioned to Jack, when explaining why no one was offering them a ride. The couple's intention is to help their daughter curb her violent tendencies. After taking their daughter into custody, Gizzard informs Veronica that they can no longer continue chasing after her, suggesting that this is not the first incident of its kind. It is revealed that Veronica is the serial killer introduced at the beginning of the story, and the body being buried was that of her brother. At this point, Jack, unaware of Veronica's true nature, arrives and holds the family at gunpoint, demanding they release her. Mary tries to explain the situation to Jack, but he dismisses her attempts, choosing to remain ignorant of the truth. Before they can expose her deception, Veronica seizes a gun and strikes her mother for speaking too much. When Gizzard fails to understand the consequences of excessive talking, he finds his mouth sealed with tape. With her parents restrained, Jack remains oblivious to the true identity of the woman he is assisting. Furthermore, Veronica's parents have sought to keep this secret from Jack, as revealing their daughter's identity would attract significant police attention and lead to her arrest. Consequently, Jack and Veronica leave the scene, leaving her parents helpless. This means Veronica will continue her serial killing activities unimpeded.